welcome to the new Comic Crusaders podcast. I know you saw my face earlier today with Lucas Fashina as we were interviewing Alex Montiel. But right now, this is a Comic Crusaders podcast, and I'm very happy to introduce a gentleman that I met through Twitter. This gentleman is a screenwriter. He's an actor. He's a doodler with a very creative brain that is doing some pretty cool audio comics. You heard it right, folks. Audio comics on YouTube. I'm very happy to introduce the one and only Harry Bauer.
Hey, Al. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for connecting with me because you put me onto something that was so awesome. I want a whole library of this stuff. All right?
We're hoping to make a lot more, so this is just the beginning.
Just the beginning. And folks, if you don't know, Harry has produced a audio comic on YouTube, and he sent me my way was the Fantastic Four, right? Now, it's specific Fantastic Four, honoring the great John Byrne, FF251, the Negative Zone Saga. And yes, folks, I will show you this video in a bit. But you got to promise you will subscribe to Harry's channel, all right? But with that, we got to dig into this creative mind. And Harry, again, thank you for coming on. What are the origins of Harry Bauer, man? I mean, okay, you chose Fantastic Four audio comics. You say you're a doodler, you're a creative brain, doing your business. Let us know a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you even got into this whole universe of geekdom, if you will.
Well, sure. I mean, the geekdom goes way, 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 way back. So I'm originally from New Jersey, and I migrated to Chicago after college. So I've been in Chicago. I've been in Chicago longer than anything else. Okay. So that is my true home. And I pursued writing and theater. I had a small theater company in Chicago, so I've always been interested in creating things. I've been into comics since I was always into superheroes when I was little, but then I really got into comics when I was end of grade school, beginning of middle school is when I really dug into comics and really became a collector.
Did you ever get in trouble in school by taking comics to school? Were you one of those where they're like, "Yo, put those things away. What are you doing?"
Yeah, a little bit. I was in a town where there was no comic book store in the town. We had to eventually they had one later. So I had a friend who lived near a comic book store, and he would pick up comics for me, and I'd give him money, and then he'd bring them to school, and he'd slip them me oh, and I get all excited. I'm checking what's in the bag and slip it in my backpack. Yeah.
The good times, man, the innocence of collecting so early on, right? And when it was affordable.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
All right. So I'm curious here then. What was your start when you got into comics? What was the one that was your eye candy, if you will?
Well, see, this is really what got me into doing the Fantastic Four audio comics. It's specifically the comic that got me started.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah. So I was always a fan of superheroes. I liked the toys and the cartoons on TV, and then I got more into Star Wars. But then it was 1983, and I've got it right here. This was the one that got me hooked. Woo! Was Fantastic Four 253. And so I saw that we would go vacation. I grew up in New Jersey, and we would go vacation in Wildwood, New Jersey for the summer for a week at a time. And it was a store that was a used bookstore that had a whole bunch of stuff, and they had a comic rack in the front, and there it was in the rack, and they had that issue and a couple others, and I just grabbed a bunch of stuff. And so at the beach motel that we were staying at, just sitting on the couch, just poring over those pages. And that John Byrne Fantastic Four just had me hooked. And so then I read all of the Negative Zone Saga. They had 3 comics there at the store. So I got 253, 255, and 256 right at the spot. And so then I got into the realm of collecting. I said, I got to read the rest of the story. So then I had to begin the whole thing of going back and finding the other issues, which took a while. But that was the thing that really got me hooked. And I was a Byrne fan from then on. So I read him avidly through Marvel, followed him when he went over to DC with Man of Steel. So it's really an homage to what got me hooked into comics. And the idea of doing this, on my channel, I'd already, with my kids, I loved playing superheroes with them and playing with toys and stuff. And so I would do all the voices for the toys as we play around and then read stories to them. And so growing up, my dad would read the Frog and Toad books, if you've ever read those. Okay. Frog and Toad are friends. And so I loved those books, would read them to my kids. And then I started playing around with the voices and doing Frog and Toad as Batman and Joker. So Batman and Joker are friends. And they loved that. And so then I just turned that into a video where I took the classic Arnold Lobel story and swiped out the pictures of Batman and Joker and replaced it with pictures that I drew of Frog and Toad with Batman and Joker drawn like in that Arnold Lobel style, and then did the voices. So I had done that before. And then as everybody was locked up at this time and people are doing lots of creative things, I had lots of friends reading kids stories right now. And so it made me think about doing more of that recently. And I was thinking, well, what if I did that with comics? And so I went back, why not the ones that really got me hooked? So I looked at those Fantastic Four issues. I debated for a short time just doing it like I did the Frog and Toad thing, or doing all the voices myself. But I started to record it and I was like, yeah, I don't like the way I sound for some of these characters. So I said, well, I know so many great actors who can't do so much right now because of the limitations. And so I reached out to them and said, hey, do you want to like do some voices for this? And then it just all snowballed and turned into what it is.
I'm interested now. I mean, are these people local to you? Is it all virtual? And how do you get them to record the voices? Because again, I'm going to play the video. The voices sound so crispy and clear.
Yeah, so that was the great thing, is that, I mean, I've come to know so many talented people in Chicago, and some of them have left the city. And so it really gave me the opportunity to people that I couldn't collaborate with anymore to reach out to. And I've also ventured into making short films. I've made 2 short films and a series independent pilot. And so through those, I've gone to like film festival events and made friends through that circuit, and people who live like in New York and LA that I normally don't have the capability to collaborate with. And this was a great opportunity. I said, well, I can reach out to these people that I normally can't interact with in this capacity. And people were excited for the prospect to do something creative and interesting. And so they dove right in. And so they just everybody records independently. They email me the files or send me to like a download link for me to pick them up. And then I just splice it all together to make the episodes.
So let me ask, this particular episode, great, the way you had the imagery show up. Again, folks, I'm going to show it. Yeah, I'll keep teasing it, right? Because it's really that good. But, what was the process in that creation of how you were doing the cuts, man, with the zooms? Great job, by the way. It looked fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, well, the key thing was, so I came up with the concept of like, oh, what if I did like, a reading of the material and show the art going by? And in the process, when I was talking to some of my actor friends, I had one friend who said, oh, well, you should check out Star Wars audio comics. That's something that's out there that's like this. And so I checked it out and it's great. I mean, that's a really highly produced, really well done thing. So I give props to them for what they did. And it gave me some ideas. But one thing that they don't do that I hadn't seen anybody do is to just showcase the art itself. So what I ended up doing is I took each panel one at a time, used like a Photoshop knockoff program, and I wiped out all of the word bubbles and all of the text bubbles, and then recreated the art to fill in that section. And I tried not to focus on that content, to really kind of focus on Byrne's original art, but that just kind of smoothed over those spots. So it's just strictly focusing on the art. And then I tried with my movie making experience, I tried to have the panels cascade in a way that felt like you were watching a film as much as you could with still material.
Great job, man. I got to give you props because I can't imagine the amount of work. And I want to welcome one of our fellow comic crusaders, the one and only Lucas Fashina. Thank you, Ro, for popping up.
Yeah, hey, man, freaking hey, Harry, man, I am a fan of what you just did with that. That was a great freaking way to do it. You got to understand, man, people just don't have the time to read the freaking comics, man. so they for you to take the time out of your schedule, man, to freaking go ahead and put something like that together, bravo to you, man. And hey, if you ever need help with that stuff, let me know, because you don't know how many people I got on my Instagram or say, hey man, freaking, what's going on with this comic? Oh, if you read it, I ain't got time to read it. Oh, okay. So now I get to say, hey, go to Harry Bauer's freaking website and he'll help you out, man.
See, Lucas, you came in on right on time, because I've been teasing folks about how awesome this looks, and then you're saying how awesome it is. You know what? I think it's time, Harry. I think it's time for us to show the world at least our fellow comic crusaders, how awesome your product is. Let's dig in.
All right.
I mean, just the time on the intro. God dang. Yeah,
I don't get it.
man.
It's
I mean,
amazing.
we're on the 34th floor of the Baxter building, and this freaking tube looks like it goes down a mile.
Sounds like you're talking through a pipe for real. I love it.
Right in the middle of the offices.
Not at all, Ben. Although this new access to the negative zone is 500 meters in length, only 1 meter exists in our reality. The shaft
This
is
is one of
dimensional.
my favorite issues,
The
man.
negative zone exists in a parallel
Yeah.
dimension. I've constructed most of this in the negative zone. This eliminates the need for complex locks.
I do want
and
to know. I
barriers
think the
we've
thing needs
used
some
in
tooth
past.
whitening.
I thought you wanted to close it off forever.
I did, but consider the larger picture. Here, look at the negative zone viewing screen. A universe as vast and immeasurable as our own, with planets, suns, life forms, civilizations. How can we turn our backs on a cosmos so full of awe and wonder?
And
I
for
miss this
creeps
type of
like
beautiful art
Niles.
like this. Byrne was
You got
a
that
master.
again?
I haven't
was,
forgotten
no doubt.
Niles, or Blastar, or Stygor, or the fact that I arranged for Galactus to be sent to the negative zone with enough planets to satisfy his cosmic hunger for all time.
Right.
Yet, he returned. Apparently, the mysteries of the zone daunted even him.
They
People,
weren't
The
feeling
dangers
enough.
of megaspace are
Yeah.
undeniable.
people
Yet
are
there
not are
endless wonders
underrating
that
how
may discover
important this
there
issue
beyond
was to what's
anything
going
in
on
our
right now
universe.
with the
Sounds like
King
you're
in
writing
Black.
a love letter, Stretch.
Sorry, Ben. As a scientist, the notion of something like the negative zones. Oh, Susan. What is it, honey?
Sorry to interrupt playtime, but it's the first tenants meeting.
Oh, yes. Completely slipped my mind. Coming, Ben?
Man, how
Give
you
me
slip your mind, man, when you got a good
25%
looking girl like that
for
around you,
broker.
man?
Playing
Man, you better
landlord?
not forget.
No thanks.
It's that he starts the conversation with ill. Okay, so, yes, honey.
Consider becoming a property owner.
Sounds like you need a morale boost.
See,
All right,
Richards noticed his wife with
time
science
to
like we
beard
do with
the
video
lines
games,
and
man.
Richard!
You know, like my dude.
I should just be punching out the occasional bad guy. Instead, we're like a corporation. And all the hassles. I wonder if the Avengers have to worry about stuff like that.
Not anymore.
What the hell's all that racket? Hey, officer, what's going on here?
Oh man, this construction really screwed up our traffic pattern. Total gridlock.
Oh, what a mess. Well, shouldn't take long to clear up this jam.
No supervillains, no disasters, just a great day for flying. Ah, there's the address Julie gave me. So that's her art school. There's Miss D'Angelo.
Sharon, who is
Is he rolling into the university like some creep?
Greylanders.
Yeah, you would think so,
Creeping on
right?
college girls, man.
Probably a narcissist, right?
Wrong-o, girly girl. He's intelligent, charming, witty, and well-read.
With my luck, he's probably.
I've never heard anybody say that about
Oh, hey, Johnny.
Johnny
Well,
Storm.
not late for your class.
Not at all. Oh, Johnny Storm. This is my
But just
new
look at the
roommate,
art,
Sharon
man. I mean,
Saga.
it's fantastic.
The Human
bro.
Torch, right? I met your sister, the Invisible Girl, a couple of months ago. I'm staff on Woman to Woman.
Although I've hardly ever seen a
All
white
right,
girl with an
children,
afro.
Bring in those eager young minds that I might nourish them.
Is that the semi-legendary Rolf?
Back in the
Byrne?
day, man, freaking George girls used to
This
rock
is my
that like it
friend
was
Johnny.
cool,
She's
man.
going to audit the class.
It was
Okay?
either that or a jerk girl.
Olivier. All right, here's today's exercises.
So, that's Rolf Brandis. Not exactly the tiger
Got
she
this Mac on
described.
quick, boy.
This class is working out for getting close to Julie.
So, that's Gray Landis. He sure is a living doll.
So that's Johnny Storm. I wonder if Julie staked out a claim on him yet.
Oh, damn, treating men like meat. Look at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, I assure you that all your requests will be dealt with at the earliest possible moment.
How soon?
I want to know when you're going to do something about it.
What a nightmare.
This comic inspires me to not be a landlord.
Why does her white shirt remind me of the thing that Fred used to wear from Scooby Doo, man?
Yo, on the money.
Sorry, baby. I didn't mean to scare you. Before he lost his mutant powers, my invisibility wouldn't have hid me from Franklin. Ugh. The Baxter building is no place for a normal child. No place at all.
You sure there ain't nothing I can help you with, babe?
I have to pack for myself. Otherwise, how can I find things again?
You never stop amazing me, Alicia. You get around better than a lot of people with sight. But, how come your lights were on when I arrived?
I knew it was getting dark out. Part of the therapy for blind people is continue all automatic things like lights. Why?
I thought maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody was here before me.
Oh, deep.
Dag.
You escaped me from the Midnight Creature feature.
Ben, don't think that way. Never doubt that I love your beautiful, wonderful soul.
Yes.
Soul.
Yes.
His soul.
Everything will be attended to.
Not that he's a handsome man.
I never thought they'd leave. And I thought I was eliminating problems when I bought this building.
Bro, I will kick everybody out, son.
Running final checks on the Negative Zone Exploratory Module Mark 1.
So, this is the big project.
Out of the school of Tony, huh?
Some tinker toy.
Hi, Daddy.
Hello, Franklin. Alicia, I want you to hear the sound of the zone access cycling, so you'll recognize it when we return.
Jeez, sounds like Galactus with tummy rumbles.
Remember that sound, Alicia?
It's nice for Alicia to look after Franklin, but you haven't told her how long you expect we'll be away.
I honestly don't know. The time distortion area around the negative zone may cause a return to seem like only hours or minutes after we depart.
You gonna bring me a present from the negative zone?
So we're not going to talk about Franklin Richards being little son being blonde and Franklin being brown hair. I'm not going to talk about that.
Dangerous stuff all down 8th Street.
Fond farewells all around. And Julie never called me back.
Didn't you forget something in this hot rod stretch? Ain't no bathrooms in the negative zone.
Your food supply is 100% efficient protein concentrates, no waste material.
The seats are comfortable.
Aren't we a bit exposed?
Wait a minute. He's saying that he got food that you don't got to take a
Not at all,
poop on?
Johnny. Arms and legs inside, everyone.
He said all protein, no waste.
Stand by for separation. Separation completed. We're away.
Stabilizers activated, stretch.
Perfect. Approaching exit point. We've reached the distortion area.
Yippee.
Keep an eye on your stabilizers, Ben. If we drift off course,
Is the ride all this rough?
only the distortion area, the transitional plane between realities. It's rougher than I anticipated. Some strange flow and ebb in the dimensional matrix.
We're using sound effects, Harry.
It is indeed.
Dang.
Transition successful. We're in the negative zone.
Look at that art, man.
I'm going to fix lunch now, Franklin.
Okay, Auntie Alicia.
Such a bright child. He's so lucky to be part of such a loving and devoted family. If only my child. Back so soon? Reed said
You
they
think?
would be back. They've only been gone 2 hours. Ben? Darling? Is that you?
No, not Ben. Ben is gone. All of the rights, gas, and Fantastic Four are gone forever.
Yo, he punched on her throat, bro.
Annihilus.
All right, round of applause. This was so awesome. Holy shit. Take your bow, Harry. Take your bow, son.
Thank you.
Amazing stuff, bro. Let's just get the credits. I want everybody to get their just desserts here. This is awesome. I love it. I really do.
And as you're listening to this, I've got to give a big props to my good buddy Joel Lederer, who did the music for this, which I love. I feel like it really gives the whole thing life.
It really does, man. It was really great, man. Freaking so that was what Fantastic Four number 251.
Correct.
Right. So the interesting thing is that the first time that there was the Negative Zone was in Fantastic Four number 51. So 200 issues before that one. That's when the first one was that for. And what was interesting was when they took Grimm, they didn't realize that Grimm was actually another guy impersonating Grimm. And when he got to the Negative Zone, he freaked out and he attacked Reed Richards. So Reed Richards fought him off and just left the dude there in the Negative Zone, never to be heard from again.
Yo, see that goes to show how heartless Reed is. Insane, yo. Like, yo, this is why he's part of the Marvel Illuminati, bro. He's gangster. He is gangster. That's why people don't sleep on Mr. Stretcho. I mean, he's a conniving one, let me tell you.
Yeah, he's pretty harsh.
But let me ask you, Harry, man, you got some amazing voice talent. I love the person that does the voice of Thing. I mean, I am from Brooklyn. I grew up in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. You know what I mean? The majority of my life. So it's like, where did you find these folks and how did you fit their voices to the particular characters?
Yeah, so that's Greg Hardigan, and he's fantastic. So I knew him as a Chicago actor, a great theater group around here called the Hypocrites. He did a lot of shows with them. He did shows other places. So I knew his work. I knew he was excellent. I knew he was, he also has a deep voice. So he was doing readings of stories online. So that was part of the stuff that I was thinking about when I dove into this. And so it was just a combo. I knew his talent level was off the charts, and I knew that he had a deep, resonant voice. So I just kind of in my mind pieced the two together. I had no idea how great it was going to turn out to be. I knew that he would be really, really good. I didn't know that he was going to nail Ben Grimm so well. And I love what he does. I love it, love it, love it.
But Ben and all the voices, Johnny and all, because you had that very youthful vibe to the voice. Sue Storm, she had a very strong sounding feminine voice, and Franklin, he sounded like a kid. I mean, great stuff, man. The folks you cast are extremely talented, and it's like for me now, these are the voices of these characters. Like Marvel, you better hook up with Harry ASAP. Let's get it done, son.
I'll take it.
So, Lucas, you gotta talk to this man. He was telling me how he's working on a whole bunch of multiple projects during this downtime here in the world of COVID that we currently live in. He's taking advantage of being very creative. I mean, he said before we got to get into this. I let it slide then, but you say you did some short films too.
Yeah, not during this time, but previously. So
okay, so what's popular?
So going back into 2016, so I had been a writer. I had a small theater company for a while, for about 3
What
4
was the name
years.
of that theater company?
It's called High Volt Theater Company. So we did a lot of like geeky oriented material. So I actually, the first show that I did was a play that I wrote that was called Part-Time Superhero. So it's like this whole concept of like the superhero world. It's like before like Kick-Ass came along and any of that stuff, but it was in that vein, like superheroes are everywhere. This is normal. And this guy just wanted to break in with a superhero team and wanted to get a job with the big league. And he was like low league. So that's like the whole concept of the play. So that was our first thing that we produced. And then after that, we did a show called D&D Live on Stage, which was just a bunch of dorks who were like, the guy was living in his parents' basement, and they all play D&D in the basement, and you can come see them play. And then the storyline of their lives unfolds. And we did a parody of Doctor Who. That was back before Doctor Who got the revived with David Tennant and got re-energized. So it was before that. And so we did a lot of stuff themed like that. After that theater company closed up and we stopped doing stuff together, I started going more into screenwriting, which I had dabbled in before. So I spent more time doing that. And I got in the process of writing scripts, sending them out to contests and producers trying to break in, and got tired with that. And we are definitely in the day and age where you can make your own stuff. So I just
Exactly.
switched gears into making my own content. And the first thing that I did in that effort to make my own stuff was to make a series pilot. So I made an independent pilot called Mad Scientist Consortium. It's on Amazon Prime right now. So if you go on Prime,
Oh,
you can see
really?
it. Yep.
Nice.
And so then after that, made 2 short films, looking to make more. So I'd already gotten in the habit of producing things, and it got me to meet more people and think more about the concepts of filming. So that really helped for making this YouTube video of the audio comics.
You know what's actually strange is, Al and I, we were just talking to what's Alex Montiel. His big break was on YouTube. He was plugging away, and he was on YouTube, and then he finally got his big break on Estrella TV. Man,
A network. I mean,
a major network. He's got like 3 shows on a major. It's a Latino network.
The 3rd largest Latino network in the world.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, man, sometimes that's what it is, man. It's going away from that big hubbub and just starting with the grind down at this level. You probably will have more success. And people are even going away from YouTube now. People are going on to TikTok and Discord, and they're making their bones there.
Oh yeah, man.
Stuff, man.
People are making bank on the TikTok, but I don't want to be dancing. You don't want to see Omega dancing, yo. And I get crazy, son.
Oh no, I want to see Omega do the busted challenge, man. That would be awesome.
Only if Harry does it with me, all right? Then we down, bro, all right?
That's gonna be weird, man. We can see. Oh man, I might. Hey, if y'all want to see Omega and Harry Bauer in high heels doing a busted challenge, give us a thumbs up on this bad boy, and I'm gonna try to make it happen.
So Harry, man, you did, the 251. Are you gonna continue the story, via this type of format?
Yeah. So we already, with my team, so the rest of the team, which we spent time talking about Greg doing the thing. So my wife does the voice of Invisible Woman.
Oh, nice. You married to Sue Storm, kiddo?
I am married to Sue Storm. I am that lucky guy. Yeah, and so she does a fantastic job. And then my buddies Chris Matthews does Reed Richards, and Anthony Turnus does Human Torch. And then I've got lots of other talented people that are supporting what we do. And so we've been moving forward. I have 255 almost done. So I've been trying to get ahead of the game so I can release them, because it takes me a while. It takes me like a month and a half to put these together.
Wow. So per episode takes a month and a half to edit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, folks, that's the work. You better appreciate people like this doing stuff to entertain you. Wow. Amazing, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, if I had more free time, I could probably move a little faster. But having 2 kids and having the day job, you can fit it in. So
that's us, man. Today's my day off. This is why I do things that I got to do to celebrate the comic community, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the end product.
But it's been great fun. I mean, I get to create a video. I get to do my own voice work. I do the voice of Annihilus on there, and just have a really good time with it.
Well, the end product is beautiful, man. It's freaking great, and plus, you're going to get more hits because some of the Marvel storylines are moving back, revolving right back to Annihilus and that whole negative zone. So you're releasing this stuff right on freaking time, man.
Right on the money, bro. I mean, are you still a current collector?
Yes, I don't buy nearly as much stuff as I used to.
Wifey got you a lot.
I've got some friends who work in the industry. So Steve Ellis is an artist, and so he has been a longtime buddy of mine. And so he's done stuff for Marvel and DC, and he's moved on to creator-owned projects. So he's got a book that's called High Moon, which is werewolves.
Yes, I've heard of High Moon.
Familiar with that? It's great. It's great.
That's your boy.
It's Wild West and werewolves. So he's fantastic. He has a partner, David Gallagher, who writes the material.
We had David on our Comic Crusaders convention just earlier this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they moved on. They did that, and now they did Only Living Boy, which is expanded to Only Living Girl. So I am avidly supporting their stuff. And then my other friends in the biz are Fred Van Lente and Ryan Dunleavy, who do Action Philosophers and Action Presidents. They do all those books.
And Fred also does the comic book history for IDW.
Yes.
Which is really awesome.
Yes. And Jamal Eigel, who's done a lot of stuff for DC, is a good friend of mine.
Jamal, I met him at New York Comic Con 3 years ago. And, you know, he was so awesome in person. He recognized the brand. He goes, "You comic crew?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm out." He goes, "Ow!" I mean, I have all these comic creators just giving me hugs out of nowhere. Thank you. I'm like, "Who are you? Wait a minute." I'm being molested at the con. What's going on here? But, no, I love that the comic community so much love to what we do. You know what I mean? That's why I also got to use my lane to showcase folks like yourself, bringing so much, you know, great energy to this wonderful culture of ours, because it is wonderful. Just ignore the haters, and you see that the good actually does outweigh the negative.
It really does, no doubt. Yeah.
So wow. So when are we going to see part 2 to this story?
So part 2 drops tomorrow.
Oh my God! We have you here today, and you drop this tomorrow. Shit, I should have you tomorrow. Let's do a debut, kiddo. Damn. No, but nice, bro. People, I'm showing the YouTube at the bottom. All right. But just look up Harry Bauer, right? Or is it Geekerific? Because I gotta ask you about that.
The easiest way is look up Harry Bauer on YouTube. Bauer, just like Jack Bauer from 24. So if you look that up,
it's just as dangerous, folks.
That's right. So if you look that up on YouTube, you'll find it. Or Fantastic Four Audio Comics. Make sure it's plural. It will come up, not the very first spot on the search, but pretty close, and you'll get it right there.
Man, I can't wait to see this tomorrow now. So what's the anticipated release schedule?
So every 2 weeks. So I've got everything lined up. Wow. So it'll go through the whole Negative Zone saga, and it'll finish up. I'm doing the finale, which is FF number 256, plus the Avengers 233 crossover, all smashed together in one double-sized video to finish it off.
We got a double size at the end. Wepa, this is gonna be monstrous, folks.
I mean, so it'll be a great conclusion. And then I've got it lined up to do FF 257, which is kind of a coda on the whole thing. So it kind of cascades off a bunch of things that happen in the 256 storyline, and it's an independent little story as well. So that'll be the last thing I do. If there's enough interest, we'll do more. But that's what we've got lined up for now.
Oh no, there's definitely a lot of interest, man. Probably maybe not just the Negative Zone, some of the symbiote stuff, you know, with Null and all that other stuff. I think probably people will. I mean, and I'm talking about the McFarlane stuff. I'm talking about there's all type of stuff that Donny Cates is uncovering from way back in the day that you could probably do.
Lucas shared that there was a battle with even back in the day, but there was no K in front of his name.
Right.
Lucas, listen, folks.
The darkness.
You got to join our Discord. We will share that link maybe every other day or so. But you got to join, because Lucas dropped some speculation tidbits. My God, bro. Let me just tell you this, that wifey's not happy with Lucas because he got me spending money. So Harry, man. Okay, so we're going to get this every 2 weeks. The new one is dropping tomorrow. You say that if it has continued interest, you will continue doing. Will you continue in the Fantastic Four universe, or do you have something in mind to dip into a different universe?
For now, if there was interest, I would continue with Fantastic Four, because I'm a huge fan of the John Byrne work, and it would just be fun to extend all the way through that to the trial of Reed Richards, which comes about 5 issues after that, and so that would be really fun, great to do. So that would be my interest, but I'd be open to doing other things as well. So
So if people wanted to contact you to work on other things, for example, I mean, is the Twitter, Instagram best? Is there any other place that they could contact you?
Twitter and Instagram is probably the best place to reach me. They can find me on Facebook as well. Just look for Harry Bauer on Facebook. And I'm more than happy to make friends there. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, let me ask you before we even go. The video ended with Geekerific production, right? So what's the origin stories behind that? Is that your production company?
Yeah, that's just a name tag that I've put on my stuff ever since I've started making things. Just a fun thing to tie it all together. So that's like my non-production production company.
All right. So let me ask you now, in your career, doing what you've been doing, what would you say has been one of the extreme highlights of your life thus far?
Wow, good question. You know, I think that I've had multiple highlights. You know, I think I can think back to stuff that's not going to be relevant to this crowd, things that I've done in theater that have been really exciting and really fun.
I'm sure we got theater fans here. I'm sure we do.
I mean, on that front, I can mention a lot of things. So, like, one highlight is the D&D show that we did with my theater company, which was really well received, and we did it for this theater festival that's called the Abby Hoffman Died for Our Sins Festival, which is a big theater marathon in Chicago. And we did our show, like a condensed version of it, like 10 o'clock at night to a huge packed house. Like, everybody was overflowing in the room.
Wow.
And just had a huge response, people like cheering and laughing like crazy. So that was an amazing night. But the Mad Scientist Consortium, that pilot that I created, is something that I'm really proud of, and had a great experience going to some festivals with that. And I won an award at Gen Con for that. So that was really an awesome thing.
Nice. Congrats, bro.
And yeah, and even right now, doing the Fantastic Four audio comics, like just posting on some of like the Facebook groups and getting lots of love and great responses has been awesome. It's just exciting. Like when I see people like saying, "Oh, I love this. This is awesome. You know, I want to see more and more and more." It feels great.
Harry, I'm telling you, you are doing a great job. You know, Lucas, as soon as he jumped in, said you're doing a great job. I think we at Comic Crusaders love what you're doing, for real.
Absolutely.
And we can't wait to see more. And now you got me antsy. At what time tomorrow is this dropping? Because I got to take lunch at that time then.
I don't have an exact time, but it should be dropping probably like 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 Central in the morning. I think.
In the morning, no lunch. I'm eating great. No work. I could enjoy this.
You might be ready to go. It's definitely dropping in the morning. But
it's like a Saturday morning cartoon on a weekday, folks.
That's right. It's a Tuesday morning cartoon.
This is so great, Harry, man. You are extremely talented. Definitely want to give a shout out to your voice cast, because again, they did a fantastic job. Yes, and dude, like, you from Brooklyn doing the thing for real. you got it down. If you're making fun of us, no problem. I accept it. I love it. Harry, is there anything else you want to leave us with today?
No, I just check out the videos. Al, thank you so much for the time. Lucas, great to talk to you as well. Loved hearing what you guys had to say. Great talking to you.
Can't wait for more, man.
Yeah, we can't wait for more. Folks, please follow Harry at HL Bauer 3. Like he said, from 24. He's just as dangerous, so you better follow him, all right? Make sure to check out his YouTube, all right? I know over here it looks complicated, but just look up Harry Bauer on YouTube. Fantastic Four audio comics, right? With an S.
Yep.
And you're going to find that bad boy. And obviously, you got to follow Lucas every Friday night. Saturday morning on It's Drunken Chat with the It's Drunken Chat crew. Shout out to Mel V and Ultra Maximus and everyone. If you want to have a good time and have a drink, because you ain't going out on Friday nights, It's Drunken Chat is the crew to chill with. And obviously, check out all the greatness at ComicCrusaders.com, UndercoverCapes.com, and all our shenanigans all over the world and what we do with podcasting and vidcasting. All right, Harry, you are awesome. And a shout out to your wifey too. She does an amazing Sue Storm. Yo, lucky man.
I truly like it. Thank you.
Yeah, and a shout out to that Brent Grimm as well, man. Because I felt what he was feeling, man. He's like, why was that? Where would you go in? Was there another dude here? Like, he took that there real quick. Like, hold up, wait a minute.
At least he didn't punch her on the neck like a nihilist did. You know what I mean? Bro, he threw her on the neck.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Cute. Yeah, it is fierce. He's messed up, man. Folks, now we know who is the domestic abuser of the year on nihilist.
Yeah, he doesn't give a damn. He'll punch a blind chick in the throat in a heartbeat.
Right? She didn't even see it coming. I'm not talking. All right, bro. With that, thank you for tuning in. I'm Al Mega with Lucas and Harry Bauer. Hasta la próxima, mi familia.
Épale.
Much love.